Welcome to Improv for the podcast. On this week's episode, we will be doing something special for the holidays. Earlier this year, Improv for the People, the improv studio where this podcast is based, took a trip up to the mountains and spent some time practicing improv and enjoying nature. And during that time, we recorded a few special episodes of our podcast called Camp Chats that we'd love to share with you all. And hopefully, if you're in the area or ever interested in going, get you to come to camp with us next year. Let's hit it. Welcome back to Camp Chat. We're joined this beautiful Saturday afternoon by Jamie and Ben. Thank you so much for coming on. How are you both doing today?
I'm feeling good.
Also, double good. Okay, that's fantastic. Fantastic. All right, well, I'm really glad to hear it. So to start, we're going to play a round of 3 things. I'll give you a category related to camp. We'll see how it goes. All right, so Jamie, you're going to be up first. Okay. These are 3 things. Things you've had to drink at camp.
Oh, water.
1.
Coffee.
2.
Gross tea.
3. These are 3 things. Ben, 3 random things you've seen at camp.
Pine cones.
1.
Christian men.
2.
Chicken fingers.
3. These are 3 things. Oh, I love, both of you had 2 very specific answers. The gross, like water, what was it, the hot chocolate?
Yeah. Well, it's all gross, yeah. That would have been my answer for that.
Yeah.
Gross hot chocolate.
That hot chocolate was a bit concerning. And then Ben just, Christian men. Yeah, there you go.
Notably, the Christian men are present.
Yes, they are.
At a very Jewish camp.
Yeah, which is, I wonder how that's going. You know, are we having a little bit of a Jesus debate or?
Yeah, have they come here to start a fight?
Oh, yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's not my battle. Hey. Not my battle. All right. Well, thank you so much for those observations. I want to get into it a little bit because both of you have a unique role here at camp. You are both instructors, kind of leading our improvisers this weekend as they're learning and growing in their craft. So I want to get into that. You're going to tell me just everything, all your secrets right now. So Jamie, what I want to ask of you is what growth or progress have you seen just generally among students this weekend in the work you've done with them?
Yeah, so a lot of students forget to have fun, which I think if improv were not fun, really, why are we doing it in the first place? And so seeing students kind of come alive when they were like, oh, this was so fun.
Yeah.
That like almost the shock on their face that this was fun. And I really take a lot of inspiration from that. I'm very happy that, we can help cultivate them having fun and finding or refinding that love of improv, that it's not just math or work or growth. It can also just be plain old fun.
Love that. Yeah, I think getting away to somewhere else, like a different space, away from our lives and responsibilities helps kind of find that fun mindset. Definitely. I love that. All right, Ben, what I'm wondering is, has there been any epiphany moments for students that you've seen, just generally, where they're like, you were pushing them in an exercise and they're just like, like, boom, they got an idea or they had a breakthrough in their work?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like with my exercises, I've been having them approach them from a more kind of like philosophical, heady level. And I can see them, kind of being challenged by this new approach to, having reactions within a scene. But when we kind of talk about it afterwards and like, kind of just highlighting like, oh, there was this moment here to have this reaction, and they're just like, oh yes, yeah, you're absolutely right. Like that's always, it's good to know as an instructor to know that like what I'm presenting them is like, they're kind of seeing it for themselves, whether it is during the scene or whether it's after the scene in talking about it. So it's like, it's good to see that they're engaged and like, just noticing those opportunities themselves.
Definitely. Okay. This question is for both of you. What do you want to feel at the end of the weekend? What defines this weekend as successful for you?
For me, I would say, being tired is definitely one way, and just knowing that, I've really kind of gave a lot of myself and, was able to kind of maintain the energy and the expectations of the students throughout all of my sessions. So I just like kind of think just like feeling tired, feeling like I just like imparted a lot of good little improv nuggets here and there will make me feel like it was a good weekend.
I mean, I have to say the same. I feel like if I feel tired after this weekend, then I've done my job. I feel that the same way about improv scenes. If you feel a little tired after an improv scene, it means you probably really gave it your all. And what more can you ask for?
Yeah. All right. So note this weekend, make sure your teachers are exhausted. Nothing left in the tank. Just absolutely defeated. That's
So
the
far,
goal.
so good.
Yeah. So ask tons of questions. Just really need their direction. Just even if you know it's the right thing, do the wrong thing just to make sure they're paying attention. That's what we're looking for.
Oh, is that what they've been doing?
Yeah. That's a general note I've been giving. Just do the opposite of what your teacher says. So I hope that's shown up in the classroom.
Oh, it sure has.
All right. Well, thank you both so much for sharing. I'm going to ask you one super serious question about camp, and that is, if you were trapped in the woods, like we are now, what is the one survival meal you would want to have with you? It's the one meal you have. You can eat it over and over again, though, but it's one meal. It's going to keep you alive amidst nature.
I would probably say, and I'm thinking too realistically, but I would probably just say like really good trail mix. Something that will just kind of keep me nourished.
Yeah.
It's got like nuts and maybe like a little bit of sweetness in there,
Yeah.
like raisins or like M&Ms.
There you go.
But then I won't get like overly full and I don't need to like cook it or anything like that.
Yeah.
I think I would probably pick like really good trail mix.
Yeah. Do you normally eat trail mix for a whole meal?
No, but I'm not imagining I have pots and pans and
That's true. That's
a
true.
fire in the scenario.
That's
so
true.
packing light.
That's true. All right. Got me there. I think that's smart. You're on the trail. You need the mix. Jamie, what about you?
I'm going the other direction. I'm going the most unrealistic option, but probably some kind of nice, just like Mexican dinner.
Oh, yeah, that's
Like
fantastic.
a bean and cheese burrito, chicken stuffed sopapillas.
Oh,
Like
man.
I'm talking the real deal.
Yeah, I
'cause-
like where your head's at.
Yeah, that's. I could eat Mexican food all day, every day, and it just doesn't get old for me.
Yeah. I think both your approaches have validity because Ben, I think like yours is realistic, it's easy to carry, but like nutritious, won't slow you down. But Jamie, because of the wealth of the meal that you have, I think you'd be able to make friends with the animals too. They'd appreciate some good cuisine.
That's right.
Yeah.
Get them to cook for me.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Then it's like
Snow
a
White.
Disney scenario.
That's right.
But I think you'll probably be trapped out there longer because you'll be pooping probably half the
Oh,
time.
that's true. Yeah.
Could be, but to be honest, would I ever get lost in the woods? I would never leave I would never leave civilization far enough to even risk that in any way.
That'd take a lot of effort. Yeah.
Yeah,
to get
because
lost
what
in
that
the woods.
means is I've already gone at least 12 hours without a Taco Bell stop. So it's just not going to happen. I know that I'm always at least 12 hours from a Taco Bell.
There you go. That's true. That's very true. Especially, in the U.S. Woo. All right. So we're going to go ahead and jump into our improv game before I send you back on your way to camp. So for this game, we're going to be playing a game called Witness. And it's based off the 90s film, actually. No, not at all. So in this game, Witness, I'm going to give you kind of three things. And basically, it's going to be the two of you. It's your job to retell this crime to a police officer. The police officer being the microphone and the camera, I suppose. So I'll give you three things. You want to incorporate them in the retelling. Work together on this. You both witnessed this crime. It was heinous. I don't know what heinous means, but I know it's often used in relation to crime.
It's really bad.
It's really bad. Okay. So three things. I'm going to give you a location of where you saw the crime. This crime took place at the beach. I will give you a celebrity who was maybe somehow involved. So you were at the beach and you saw Benedict Cumberbatch. And the object was an attaché case.
Taché case.
Attaché case.
Great.
Yeah. All right. Any questions for me? Beach, Benedict Cumberbatch, attaché case. I'll black you out. Please share your crime with the officer.
Right. Oh my God, officer. Listen, officer, yeah, grisly scene over at Santa Monica Pier. Yeah. Tell it like I will not be sleeping tonight, officer.
No sleep for either of us. We will be eyes wide open.
Yeah, it was seriously a bloodbath, and Jeremy was crying Jeremy was crying as soon as he came upon the body. He just started weeping.
I wept, and I had wished that I hadn't gone to the beach that day. I've never wished that I haven't gone to a beach before. And today, I wish I had not gone, because who did we see there? None other than Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh, he soothed us. He's like, I could not feel like, I didn't even see a crime right now. I didn't even see a murder.
He came over and gave me a big hug and was like, "Don't worry, Jamie. Look at this little attaché case that I've got. It's got my new contracts for my new film."
Yeah, and I mean, it was a beautiful case, and like he just completely, he is the number one person to go to if you are in need of a distraction.
There, boys. There. Don't worry about it. Enjoy your day at the rest of the beach here. Buy a little ice cream cone on me, won't you?
Yeah, no, he was seriously, and then and then he did that thing in the smog voice.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Go ahead and tell us it.
Yeah, so he was like, "Listen, boys, like, I want you to take really good care of yourselves and watch out for murderers." Yeah.
Which is a little bit of a mixed message, because he had just consoled us and told us not to worry about it and bought us ice cream cones and then scared us.
Yeah.
Mixed messages.
But I hope we were of help to solving this murder.
I don't think we were any help at all.
Blackout. So the officer's going to collect your report. He'll put it under the file and, continue the investigation. Probably need to check in with Benny C, though. I might have some questions for him.
I hope he doesn't hear this. Yeah. I know he's a big listener of the podcast.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, Benny's a big, he's a friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod.
All right. Well, Ben, Jamie, thank you so much for joining us. That was more Benedict Cumberbatch than I ever could have hoped for. So thank you. Would you be willing to give us just some final words before you head off into the nature?
Yeah, it's just it's really been a joy to kind of escape the city for a few days, just to be in the mountains, be playing and doing improv with a bunch of the people from our studio who we only get to see, or I only get to see like on rare occasions. So it's just nice to spend time together as a community. So I'm definitely looking forward to the second half of this weekend.
Yeah, I hope everyone has had a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much again for joining Camp Chat. We'll see you next time. Welcome back to Camp Chat here at Improv Camp. I'm joined today by Christine and Janine. Thank you so much for coming on. How are you both doing this evening?
Doing well.
Doing well. All right. We just had dinner. We're getting ready for our last improv session of the evening. Whew, pretty crazy. So we're going to jump in and play a little three things, but it's camp. So to start, Janine, I'll have you go first. So let's do this. I'm going to say, these are three things. Improv exercises you've done at camp.
Reaction, peas in a pod, and translation.
These are three things. Very nice. All right. And Christine, three things other than improv you have done at camp.
Eaten.
1.
Slept.
2.
Laughed.
3. These are three things. Very nice. Give yourselves a round of applause. That was excellent. Thank you for jumping in. All right. So Janine, I want to ask you, how has your experience been at camp so far? Is there something that you've learned coming into camp, or something new that you've experienced?
Yes, so I haven't done improv much before. I just did it once before at this same camp last year. And I am very struck by how I feel like there's intimacy between people without everyone knowing their backstories. Just by seeing how people improv and what comes to their mind, and you can start to see patterns even in a short time in a camp. So
Definitely.
it's, and then also kind of like what's hidden in our unconscious or down there that suddenly pops up.
Yeah, that we don't even know. I love it. Yeah, and I think that intimacy, right? It shows up because we're in classes all day with people, and like, I don't know you very well, but we're gonna get out there and make a bunch of stuff up, and it just works.
Yeah,
just works. So I definitely agree, that intimacy. Christine, what about for you? What do you think? What's something new that you've experienced or learned so far this weekend?
I have had some improv experience, and COVID kind of gave me a big break from that. Not that I wanted the break,
Yeah.
but so getting back into it feels really good. And what I really appreciate about IFTP and the improvisers I'm seeing here and how everyone interacts is the feedback, not only from the teachers or the coaches, but from each other, is really in depth and really insightful. Like they just, I finish a thing and someone asks how it was, and I say it was fun, but everyone elaborates and really is looking into a scene. So it's helping me train my eye to what to look for.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's one thing I know I love about IFTP too, is like the layers of feedback, right? There's the feedback from the teacher, the feedback from the audience, and then you have an opportunity for reflection as well, which is, you don't get that at a lot of other places. So it's something, I'm with you. I love it. I love it. I love feedback, so I love to hear it from many, many sources.
Yeah, me
And
too.
can I add something to that?
Sure.
It's also loving. Like it's because a lot of times the feedback can tear you down, and,
Yeah.
and it empowers you. And whether it's from other improv people, that they're so empowering. The instructors are very empowering. That's really kind of the only way you can take in feedback in a real way. So I just find that astounding.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like you're receiving the feedback, but it's to build you up, right?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you were great. Let's be even greater.
Right.
Rather than, no one's trying to destroy anyone else here, which is
Right.
good.
Right.
Definitely. Okay. My next question for you, and I want to hear from each of you on this. What's a challenging moment you've had in classes this weekend, and then like a high moment where you're just like, yes, improv. Like your most challenging moment and your most like proud moment that you had. Something that you accomplished or did in class. And whoever wants to go first.
Want me to go?
Sure.
Okay. Well, challenging moment. It's hard to pick just one. 'Cause, just learning and being vulnerable,
Yeah.
and all the awkwardness that I feel in like pauses, and like the trying to turn off the voice of going, I'm not doing it right. I'm not doing it right. I'm failing right now. That kind of has been pervasive. But at the same time, on the flip side of that, the minute you do something that I've said something that I knew was right there with my person, and I could hear it in the audience, and I could feel it simultaneously, like that worked. That was good, and that was really satisfying. I mean, there were a couple specifics, but that was really a satisfying feeling.
Definitely. Thank you for sharing.
So translation was impossible, and I feel like I want to go home and like listen to other languages and then do gibberish with them. I really care about languages, and so I was like, I should be able to do this, but I could not come up with it. And then I was like, I should be able to like, and it's not at all a judgment of like we shouldn't be making fun of Russian. It's like I couldn't even think of the words I know in Russian. So yes, very challenging, but kind of you find out something interesting about yourself, and then. Like these moments where you're suddenly, I was a non-caring sister in one of my sister who had polio, and it's just like where you can drop, where you're both like dropped into that character, and you're just going with it, and it's kind of magic.
Yeah, it is. You just both buy into whatever's happening, and you're like, well, here we go. Yeah. Oh man, that translation game gets me. I'm like, even the Russian words, I was like, "Niet," and that's all I got right now.
I know. I couldn't. All I could come up with was vodka.
Yep.
And I couldn't even say it. Vodka.
And even that, it's like, oh man, when you're on the spot with that game in particular, I think just all knowledge of any language other than English ceases to exist.
Disappears.
Yeah, it makes gibberish is supposed to be easy, and it's not. It's very
Absolutely
difficult.
not.
Yeah.
I think that might be the hardest language of them all, is gibberish.
Gibberish, yeah.
Because you're purposefully not making sense.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing those reflections on the weekend so far. I'm going to ask you one more question, and we're going to jump into our improv game. So this last question is very serious. If Well, no, here we go. I want you to tell me each your perfect camp meal. What does that look like? Your ideal camp meal, whatever that is. You're at camp and you're like, this is the perfect meal for camp. What does that look like for each of you?
For me, it would be beans, rice, salsa, and guacamole.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
I'm there. Sign me up. Okay.
Yeah, I might have to go along with that, and especially because in Southern California, there's a lot of real Mexican tortillas. So
That's
if you
true,
could have
that's
some
true.
real tortillas too, I'd be happy. And then they had cherry pie the other night, but they didn't have a gluten-free crust, and I love cherry pie. So if they had cherry pie with a gluten-free crust,
There you go. There you go. Those are.
tacos and cherry pie.
That sounds great to me. I'm there. Yeah, it was like great. Fresh guac, like tortillas,
Yeah,
pie.
baby.
Like these are all good things. Oh man, I'm gonna go have second dinner. See ya. No, all right. Well, thank you so much for sharing. We're gonna go ahead and jump into our improv game. So I'm looking at this because I have a list of games here, and the game we are going to be playing. This is a fun one, kind of a word game. So for this scene, I will go ahead and give you both a relationship to kind of help you start off your scene. And your objective in this scene is that with each line, the next line has to start with the last letter of the previous line. So if my line is like, I love bananas, right? The last letter is S. The next line would be, so do I, right? And that's kind of how you have to play. So you got to listen for that last letter.
Okay, and it's a conversation.
It's a conversation
Okay.
between the two of you. So I'll go ahead and pull up. I'm going to give you a relationship just to kind of help get you going. Let's see. I'm going to say, so one of you is a bartender. The other is a regular customer. Anything else you need from me? All right, I'll black you out when you're ready. Here you go.
Okay. What can I get you, Cheryl?
A Corona? A Corona beer? Could you get me a Corona beer?
Right away, Missy.
You're an interesting bartender. I don't usually get called Missy.
You know that I love calling you different names when you come in every night.
Thank you. I like it when you call me different names every night. Like we've got kind of a thing going.
Good grief. I am so glad you finally noticed. I have been thinking about telling you that I was having feelings for you, and you just made my year.
Right. Well, let's not go crazy here. I mean, like right, you're a bartender and I'm a customer, and like, it's that bar banter thing, right?
Tell me what I could do to change your mind about maybe spending a little more time with me outside of the bar, little Petunia.
Apples. I like apples.
Blackout. All right, very nice, very nice. Well done. I was invested. I want to know where this is going. So good, so good.
That was fun.
And the little names we had going there. That was just such a fun little game within the scene. Such a nice job. Well, Janine, Christine, thank you so much for joining me today on
Thank
Camp
you so
Chat.
much. That
Any
was
last
fun.
words you want to leave us with before we go?
I can't wait to come back next year.
Yeah, improv for the people.
Improv for the people. All right.
Improv is life.
Improv is life. There you go. Well, thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
All right, welcome back to Camp Chat. Today I am joined by the amazing, the talented Austin and Dana. Thank you so much for coming on the pod. Woo. We're here at camp. It is the final Sunday of camp. We're tired, we're stinky, but we are so content and joyful. Austin, Dana, how you both doing this morning?
We are a bit stinky. I'm not
Yeah.
going to lie.
It's
There's
part
been a
of
whole
the-
water issue.
Yes.
I don't know if you've covered that yet.
Oh, no.
The water is out, the plumbing is out, and we are handling it like improv champions.
We have never been happier.
Never
Actually,
been.
yeah, it really gave me an excuse not to have to shower, so I'm good
Exactly.
with that.
Yeah, let go of the burdens of society, right? These expectations people have of me not to smell. I'm letting that go this weekend.
Yeah, and the water is usually running at camp, so don't let this affect your decision to come to
Definitely,
camp or not.
definitely.
Usually there's water there.
And the water is delicious.
It is.
It's spring water, so know that.
Yeah, it's like the Arrowhead bottle, but real.
It
Yeah,
is.
that's how I
It's on
describe
the
it.
mountain itself.
Yeah, Poland spring, but American spring. All right, that's some good stuff. All right, so we're going to start with a round of 3 things, but it's camp edition.
Oh.
So here we go. Dana, I'll start with you. Then Austin, I'll go with you.
Okay.
These are 3 things. Dana, 3 things you can't come to camp without.
Toothbrush.
1,
Sunscreen.
2,
And a mug for coffee that you don't have to wash out, so you have your own mug the whole weekend.
3. These are 3 things. Austin, 3 things that you never want to see at camp.
A broken toilet.
1,
A giant beetle.
2,
Anyone's genitals.
3. These are 3 things.
things.
Wow, solid choices across the board.
But can I add that
yes.
Austin did see a giant beetle,
Yeah.
and she saved it.
saved it.
She saved its life in
Wow.
our lives.
Yeah.
It was in our bathroom,
Yeah.
and she escorted it out of the room into nature again.
I was screaming like a 12-year-old girl the whole time. No one was there to see it, but I saved its life, and I feel proud of what I've done here today at camp.
As you
And
should.
I saw the beetle that night, and when I was brushing my teeth, I did see the beetle, and I
Yeah.
said, I'm going to ignore it and hope it does not crawl into our bunk beds.
Yeah, or in our
So,
mouths or on our face.
You are the true
Yeah.
hero.
Yeah, I am
here.
your hero. I'll
Austin,
take
thank you for your service.
Thank you so. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
my pleasure. Actually,
Yeah.
no, it wasn't my pleasure, but
Yeah. But your pain is our pleasure, right?
I did it.
Exactly. The rest of us are living beetle-free lives. All right. Well, thank you for sharing these tales of heroism, bravery. It's not often we have moments like that to step up in life. So thank you, Austin, for showing your true colors, coming in,
that. Appreciate
saving the
that.
day. So I want to ask on a more serious note. Not that beetle heroism isn't serious, and reusable coffee mugs and all that. I want to ask. And Austin, we'll start with you. What's one lesson you feel that you've taken away from this experience at camp? Something that's changed in you from Friday
Yeah.
to now, Sunday morning.
that's a great question, and I know for a fact there's more than one, but the best one I think that I am going to come away with is just this notion of permission. There's been so many opportunities to really just like let the freak flag fly, and I'm so grateful for that. Just that space to just be weird and to follow the impulses that come through, and it's just very atypical from the rest of our day-to-day life. So I'm just very grateful that we had this time to just be really weird and silly. I really went to some very weird and silly places, and I'm very proud of myself for doing so.
Amazing. Let those flags fly. I'm here for it. I love it. Dana, what about for you? What is a lesson you've taken away from this weekend, from Friday to Sunday?
I am taking away letting go and trusting others. We did the challenge ropes course on Saturday, and I'm not afraid of heights. I will gladly fly. I'll go up in a tall building. It's not a huge deal for me, but watching everyone else go, they made it look so easy, and it didn't seem that high. And then you get up there, and you're like, oh, this is higher than I thought.
Yeah.
And my legs got very shaky and didn't seem to want to work that high. But knowing that I was tethered to the rope and had people belaying me down below, they were holding me, I felt trust, and I did the leap of faith. And it was so fun afterwards. Once I got back down to the ground, I was like, that was exhilarating. So just letting go of that fear and trusting that, and that's just the ropes course. In the improv sessions, we had an amazing scene, Debbie and I, about corn dogs and waiting in line for corn dogs, and we were yelling at people that were not, you couldn't see in line, but we were yelling at them to hurry up. It got really intense, but I wasn't in my head at all. We were just yelling and having fun, and it got worse and worse. We were sticking the corn dogs up people's butts if they weren't hurrying up, sticking it in their eyeballs.
That's what you do.
It went there, and it felt so freeing and almost like therapeutic.
Yeah.
Because I don't usually get to say those things.
Sure.
But sometimes I'm thinking them.
Yeah.
And to be able to say those things and let go and trust that Debbie was going to do the same and not be like, oh, you're weird. Like, why are you doing that? We were
Yeah.
both yelling together. That was such an awesome experience.
Yeah.
And all of the scenes were like that. It was just an amazing weekend. It really was.
Fantastic.
I should say that I was Dana's videographer for her Leap of Faith.
Wow.
And she did ring the bell.
I did. I tapped it.
She tapped the bell. The cowbell
Bell
rang.
ringers,
And it
bell
was
ringers.
actually really cute to see her realize how high up she was, because she was
Yeah.
like, shouldn't have looked down. Shouldn't have looked down. And it was just, but then she did it, and it was wonderful. Well, she went before me, so it was I wasn't as scared because I was like, oh, Dana did it. So
Well, then I had to I videoed for you, and I was really shaky after. I was like, I should not be videographer for this one. I'm still shaky from my leap of faith.
We both have Samsungs, and
yeah.
that is wonderful image stabilized quality.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it.
We did great. We
Take
did great.
that, iPhone.
Yeah, the
people.
iPhone can suck
Well,
it.
Yeah.
to know, we are on an iPhone right now.
Well,
But-
you might want to cut your ad
Fair enough.
sponsorship
Fair enough.
there.
Fair enough. Once they know we exist, we will. Amazing, amazing. And I love that you both had that opportunity to like record the other person doing that, because that leap of faith was definitely a highlight for me. I loved that activity. It was a little scary too. I don't love heights. I'm with you there.
Everyone seemed to turn around just fine up
Yeah,
on that
yeah.
small little board. Like no one else made it
No.
seem like a problem.
Yep.
And then
No,
I
you
got
had to
up
like
there.
rearrange your arm. It was hilarious. She was like, "How do I move my arm?"
Yeah. And then I'm facing the belayers, and they're like, "Don't look at us. Don't look down." How am I supposed to do this? No one else had this issue. So it's like a full minute of me struggling to
just like,
turn my body a bit.
Yeah. You got to prepare. You got to prepare. All right. Last question for you both. Two things you're going to tell me, and whoever wants to go first. You're going to tell me your favorite thing you ate this weekend and your favorite improv exercise you did this weekend.
I could definitely say the improv exercise first was the heightening. I loved the heightening. That was a wonderful exercise in permission, because you really had to continue to go to the next. You had to. You were the next person, so you had to go bigger.
I think we were in that class, and it was just
Oh, that's right. We were.
So
yeah,
fun.
that was a
I
really
mean,
fun one. I really
was
liked that.
awesome.
That was my favorite. You're gonna have to come back to me for the food, because it wasn't.
Okay.
Can't think of anything.
So we'll start with the heightening. Got it.
Yeah. I love the heightening one. That's probably my second favorite, because I do struggle with being a 5 or a 10, depending on whatever scale you're using. I struggle to be a 10 in any emotion, and for me just to even be like an 8 and practice being a 10, it was hard for me. It was challenging, and it was fun to see other people test their limits too and challenge themselves. My favorite one was the peas in the pod, because so many times we get caught up in like logical absurd, or I got to be the voice of reason or whatever. And it was just so fun to be silly people together, silly characters, which is what led to that corn dog scene.
Yeah.
That was the same class, but yeah, I need to remember that more. I want to remember that more, to be peas in the pod, because it's just so joyful
Yes.
when you do that.
100%. 100%. Okay. Any food recommendations? If we don't have one, that's totally okay.
I mean, I like the food I brought.
Okay. There you go.
Like a
There you go.
snob, yes.
What's one snack item you brought that you liked?
I like my trail mix.
Trail mix. There you
mix.
go.
Felt very camp
That's
appropriate.
that's a perfect camp food.
Yeah, you're such a snack champ. You had your yogurt, your Faye yogurt, 2%.
2%,
In case you want to do
There you go.
sponsorships,
Yeah.
the Faye
It's the
2%.
Faye 2%.
Excellent.
It's the only way to go.
Okay.
And with your granola.
Yep.
And it was like such a good breakfast choice. I love the s'mores, and not to, like all
Yeah.
the food we had was wonderful this weekend. Just sitting around a campfire,
Yeah,
with
classic.
everyone. It's warm, and just getting the marshmallows toasted to perfection and sitting around. It is so joyful again. This
Yeah.
weekend was all about joy, and that really just put the icing on the cake with the joyful weekend.
100%. 100%. All right. Well, thank you both so much for answering those questions about camp. I'd love to hear your experiences and the highs and lows and the leaps, both in class
I have one
and
more
outside.
high.
Okay, go,
It would
go.
have to be your Les Mis.
Oh,
me?
absolutely.
That was up there.
Well, thank you. Thank
I also
you.
hadn't heard
Thank
that
you.
song since I was really little.
Oh,
I
yeah.
knew all the words, so it
Yeah.
was like. Anyway, you were great.
Well, thank you. Thank
The
you.
talent show overall.
Yeah,
a
I love the
blast.
talent show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I struggle with just like improv is my skill amongst the regular world. Like, oh, I do improv and you don't, so haha. But then amongst improvisers, it's like, oh, what is my other skill or talent that I have?
Yeah.
And to see everyone else share their other talents of singing, dancing, hitting popcorn into their mouth with their
Yes.
hand. It was so fun and so joyful. People were so vulnerable. that was just
Yeah,
true
that was a-
connection.
Powerful.
That was a highlight for sure.
It was
Yeah.
definitely a highlight of the weekend too.
Amazing, amazing. We had an anti-improv talent show. Incredible, incredible. All right, so the last thing we're going to do is we're going to play a quick game. And this game that I have for you might be one you played before. It's called Bad Breakup. We've all hopefully had the chance to experience a bad breakup now and then. Yeah, hopefully. I wish that upon everyone. But one of you, and I'll let you decide, one of you is going to break up with the other person. And the one thing, let's do, Austin, you're going to be breaking up with Dane. I'm deciding for you. Okay. And one thing that has to be incorporated into this scene is scissors. You need to incorporate scissors somehow into this scene. This is a bad breakup. Austin is breaking up with Dana. Any questions for me? No. Yeah, I'll black you out when I think you're ready.
Okay. I can't do this. I can't do this anymore with you, Beth.
Can't do what? We just have to go to the store. That's all.
No, it's not the store. It's not the store. I'm having serious doubts about you, about our relationship, and frankly, I've been fantasizing about other people. That's not a good sign. I think it's time we call it quits.
Is it Debbie from the store? Because if it's Debbie, I know we see her all the time, and you're always smiling at her. Is that who you're fantasizing
I mean,
about?
it's not just one person, but yes, Debbie's one of them. She
is really nice at the
She's
store.
nice. You're just not nice. I like nice. I like, hot. I like funny. You're none of those things.
Look, Austin, we've been together for 3 years. 3 years. You're having doubts?
Yeah. It's time. It's either, what we're not married, we don't have children. It's, it's actually it's a good time in my life to separate as well. I think I'm looking for a change. So I think listen, you have your crafts, you have your whole crafts room. Your scissor collection is epic. I'm sure someone else would really appreciate that about you. I don't.
Oh, I'm about to use this scissor collection and cut up your favorite pair of jeans right now.
No, my God. These
These are the
500
heavy-duty denim scissors.
Yeah, those
right
were
here.
fine. Okay, well, I mean, if this is...
I'm turning them into jorts.
Wow, that's so mature. I hope you have $500 to give me, because whatever. You know what? This is just typical you. Typical you. Just taking something and then ruining it. Taking our life and then ruining it.
I just thought we were going to have a normal Sunday and go to the store. And
you
then,
thought wrong. This is the last
and
Sunday.
now this
is
last
it.
Sunday together.
This is it. It's the last one. I'm going to start
I'm
packing.
making a quilt that says "I hate you" on it, and I am going to drape it out in front of your room forever. And I'm not letting you leave.
Blackout! Amazing, amazing. Well done incorporating those arts and crafts into it. And then it became part of, that was so fun. Just cutting the jeans into jorts and the quilt and the scissor collection. That's fascinating to me because there's so many different types, That was amazing. Really
I have
nice
those
job.
scissors to cut through jeans.
Yeah.
You can't just use any old
No,
pair. No, I've learned from
Those kind of scare me. Yeah, that's some serious scissors. All right. Well, that about wraps up our episode of Camp Chat. Any final words you want to leave us with before we head off?
so much for having us.
Of course.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
Thank you. I want to look at you, but I can't.
It's okay. It's okay.
This is so fun. We're so glad that I've enjoyed being in class with you, but now that you're moving into a more teacher level thing, I'm so excited for you because I think you're great.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
And a great teacher.
Yeah, echo all that, and I love this community of people.
Yes.
Just, I knew some people coming, and some others I didn't, and now we're leaving just so connected. And it was only a Friday to Sunday.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
feels like we've known each other for a lifetime because
Lifetime.
we've had this special experience together, and
100%.
that's so huge for me.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Camp Chat. We'll see you next time.
Camera this
Bye.
whole time?
All right, welcome back to Camp Chat here at IFTP Improv Camp. I am here today with Adam and Sylvan. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, our final day of camp. How are you both doing today?
Doing great.
Doing great. Yeah. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, no, thank you for jumping in. I know everyone's rearing to go, get back to our busy lives, but I'm keeping you hostage here on the mountain. So if these two gentlemen are missing, you know where they are. All right. So before we jump into our interview, we're going to play a quick round of 3 things. Camp edition, of course. So this will be related to nature, camp, things like that in general. All right. So here we go. Adam, I'll start with you.
Sure.
These are 3 things, 3 activities you did at camp.
Sing.
1,
Improv.
2,
Eat lots of cafeteria food.
3. These are 3 things. Sylvan, I'll go to you. 3 people you spoke to at camp.
Daryl,
1,
Tara,
2,
Matt.
3. These are 3 things. Amazing, amazing. Wow, you both were right on that. So snappy. I'm impressed. Okay, so let's talk about camp a little bit because it's been an eventful, busy, fun, incredible weekend. So I want to hear, Sylvan, I want to hear from you. What's one highlight you had from an improv class and then a highlight you had outside of improv class?
From improv, let's see. Oh, I will say, I really like realizing during the rotation exercise where we had to rotate, one group had to rotate, switch between scenes pretty quickly. I had a lot of fun realizing how easy it is to switch your mind from one scene to the next. So one moment I was playing basketball with Micah and talk about my wife. The next second I was at Yarn Barn with my friend Mason getting ready to crochet a scarf for him. And I think that's super fun to be able to switch location and switch character like that. That's a fun exercise.
Yeah,
especially
definitely.
to
I
begin
remember
with the
those
whole
scenes.
system of long form and switching.
Yeah, you were great, just jumping back and forth between those two. I loved watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
awesome.
no, it's a fun exercise.
What-
And then one thing that stood out outside of improv, you said?
Yeah, outside of classes.
I think the talent show. I had so much fun, like those 2 hours of wild entertainment. It was great because every act was a door or a window into that person. And I went on second, which was great because I could see the whole show without thinking about my own act because, I was in my head a little bit figuring out how I was going to tell that story. And I had a lot of fun telling my story. But seeing everybody, I felt like I was discovering a little bit about everyone. It got emotional. It was outrageously funny. And it was just 2 hours, like the most fun.
Definitely. I agree. The talent show was also a highlight for me. Just the wide range of things we got to see from so many people, the talents, the stories, such heavy moments as well as such joyous and hilarious moments was just incredible. And Sylvan, I did really enjoy your story that you shared.
Thanks.
And how you ended it. Just the celebratory note you left us on was just amazing. I love that. And I think the best cartwheel I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. I felt pretty good about it as I did it. So I just love cartwheels. I did them as a kid, and I discovered, I don't know, 10 years ago, whatever, or 5 years ago, that I could still do them. I was like, I need to do these all the time.
Yeah, 100%.
One time I even did one because I was angry, and it was a release. So they're just fun, and people came up to me and said, I love cartwheels too. Thanks for bringing them back.
Yeah, definitely. We
I
lose
was one
that.
of those. And I don't know if there's anything that sums up pure joy any more than doing a cartwheel.
Yeah. It's like, I'm so joyous that words are not enough. I'm going to physically express myself, which I think is something we lose when we get older. So I'm glad that, you're like, hey, we should do this if we want to. And that's how it should be. Nobody should be like, don't cartwheel. So I appreciate you just
Definitely.
being like, let's get out there. So thank you, Sylvan. Adam, what about for you? What's a highlight for you from improv class and a highlight outside of class?
Yeah. The real highlight for the whole weekend is really the people. I just find so much fun getting to play and getting to meet all these people that are very just open, accepting, willing to commit to these improv scenes, which are ludicrous and outrageous, but willing to really have fun with it and play with that. And I was at the camp last year and met 30 amazing people, and I feel like this year I kind of walked away with the same feeling of just like, everyone is so awesome, everyone's so committed and really into, being open to meeting everyone else and really bringing them into the scenes and bringing to life all these scenes.
Definitely. Definitely.
So really, really enjoyed that. Specifically from some of the exercises that we did, I think there was a big focus on space work. And space work really kind of sets the stage for the scene and really kind of puts the scene in reality. It grounds it in a location, and it's very easy to kind of either forget it and drop the space work and just have a two-person talking scene, or to be just like overly moving around and doing too much and
Yeah.
having it be a little bit sloppy. So having the ability to just kind of like focus on how does the space work kind of inform everything else in the scene, and how does it inform even the relationship between the two people that are performing. It was really good to get a lot of exercises to work through that and to kind of like overly do space work and then kind of reel it back and
Yeah.
kind of find what the right medium and balance was.
Definitely. Amazing. Space work is something I always want to work on. So I love that reminder. Yeah, we had a lot of opportunities for that this weekend. What about outside of class?
Outside of class, I mean, loved the talent show as well. Just really found it. Everyone's got really interesting and fun and creative talents, and it's always great when they can like share that with everyone else. So we're talking about cartwheels, as well as his story, very personal and touching story.
Yeah.
Appreciate you for being like very vulnerable, and appreciate like everybody going up there and being open to being vulnerable, even if it's stand-up comedy. There's a vulnerability in that.
And
sure.
singing your own song,
Yeah.
an original. That
Yeah,
was really
writing a song, playing an instrument, and singing it. Oh my goodness.
So I really love that, like sharing of that.
Definitely. I think, that was kind of a moment for everything to come together because we got to see more of so many people just than like them being in a scene, right? It was like, hey, you've seen me in a scene. This is just me, the person, which is, there aren't as many moments for that, but we have one big one, and that was last night. And I think from both of you, I just enjoyed both of what you brought to the table, Sylvan, your like your story of fear into bravery. And then Adam, just your opportunity of going, I'm not really a creative guy. And then you're like, oh my gosh, you wrote this beautiful song and that you performed for us, and just sharing that and hearing your lyrics. Both of you are amazing. So thank you both so much for just stepping up and being like, I'm bringing some amazing stuff to the table.
Yeah.
All right, one last question for you. So hypothetically, I'm sitting at home right now. I'm listening to this, and I'm on the fence about camp. I want to go next year, but maybe I don't. What would you say? What's one thing you would say to convince me to come to camp?
I mean, I think I kind of already said it, but it really is the people. You come here and you're going to meet amazing friends that you'll stay in touch with, and you'll be able to be open and share with, and that really is kind of a fun thing, because like there is no preconceived notions from anybody. Everyone comes here with an open mind, and willing to kind of just jump into things.
Definitely.
There's a joy and there's a wonder in that, which is really fun.
Love it. Sylvan, what about you?
Well, you get to feel like a kid again. You go to camp. Also, on the improv side of things, it's kind of a lab where we really, really go deep into certain aspects of improv. It's challenging, but we really went in depth into a few different things at each session. So it'll help. It helps progress move forward into the improv practice. And I mean, at the end, after the closing words, I got really emotional. So that speaks to how powerful of an experience this whole weekend was.
Definitely. Well, hypothetical me who's sitting at home, I'm in. I'm coming next year. You got me. So thank you for convincing me to join. All right, it's time. We're going to do some improv because it's improv camp. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
So the game I have for you today is one you might have played before. It's called Bad Gift, classic short form game. So Sylvan, I'm going to have you give a gift to Adam in this scene. And the gift you're going to be giving is scab ointment. Some ointment for a scab. That's what you're going to give to Adam in this scene. And I'm just going to let you roll with it, and then I'll black you out when I think you're ready. All right.
Merry Christmas, Dad. I got you this here.
Son. Scab ointment.
Write that, yeah. I think it'll really help with your scratching. And
Oh man, you
Yeah.
really
Your eczema.
you really know how to give me an amazing gift. I've been
It'll-
dealing with this for years.
It'll help with your mood also, because it has a relaxing scent.
Sorry,
I know you.
Hold on, you're saying something about my mood.
Well, I think you're kind of on edge most of the time because
You
of
think
all the-
I'm on edge most of the time?
Well, you scratch a lot, and I know it hurts after a while, but you keep scratching because why would you not? It's just out of control, the itching, right? And you always snap at mom. You always snap at me.
I never snap at anybody.
Dad, I just
Listen,
you.
son, I did not raise you to talk back to your father.
No, but you raised me to be a thoughtful person, and I think you should give it a shot. Just open it, smell it. Essential oils in there. You see? Yeah,
Okay,
peppermint.
Fine,
tulip.
I guess I can try it.
Yeah,
Son,
yeah.
oh my God, you are like the light of my life.
Blackout. Yes. Oh, what a beautiful little scene we had there. Sylvan, thank you so much. You just jumped right to it. You're like, Merry Christmas. I love you, Dad. Here's your gift. And then immediately just like, oh, we found this little game of like, you're itchy, you're irritable. Oh my gosh. That was
Yeah,
just,
nice.
you guys were just so on it. Oh, thank you. That was lovely. I was laughing over here in my corner, leaning away from the mic. Like, thank you. That was excellent. Excellent. Oh man, what a lovely scene. Thank you. Any last words you want to leave us with before we go?
Man, this was fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really
Thank you
enjoyed
so
it,
much
and
for jumping
the
in.
whole camp was a blast.
Definitely. Definitely.
It was awesome. It's nice to be able to talk about it just before leaving. Also,
Yeah,
It's,
yeah,
It's a nice postscriptum. It's a reason to hang around. Also.
Yeah. Yeah. Just
Yeah.
to reflect a little bit and think about like, wow, this is, yeah, kind of sum it up and then head out and return, with the lessons we've learned. All right. Well,
Yeah.
thank you both so much for joining me on Camp Chat. Adam and Sylvan, woo, amazing guests. We'll see you next time.
Thanks.
Welcome back to the final episode of Camp Chat. I am here with Alex and Tara today. They are the final two campers to join us. Woo,
let's go.
It's very exciting, very exciting. How are you both doing this afternoon?
Great.
I'm doing fantastic.
Great,
Amazing
fantastic.
weekend.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you both for sticking around, hanging out. Everyone has abandoned us on the mountain, but we're still here for content. Yeah, yeah. So thank you. We're going to get started with our round of three things. This is about camp. Here we go. Alex, we're going to start with you. These are three things. Best drinks at camp.
Best drinks at camp?
Yep.
Dihydrogen monoxide,
1,
coffee,
2,
and orange juice.
3. These are three things. Tara, we're going to you. Best things that are not improv to do at camp.
Hike.
1,
Sit.
2,
Chat.
3. These are three things. Oh my goodness.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right. And those are valid answers, but I'm going to make fun of you for it.
Hug.
Yeah.
That's my fourth.
There you go. There you go. Amazing. Amazing. Dihydrogen monoxide, seriously?
Dihydrogen
Seriously?
monoxide.
All right. All right. Well, for chemistry nerds out there, shout out dihydrogen monoxide.
Yeah, I heard it's going to be falling from the sky
Oh, yeah.
at some point.
Today?
Maybe.
Oh, we got to get moving then. No, we're going to. That's the water we've been missing the whole weekend.
Exactly.
It's coming from the sky, not from the toilets. All right. Good to know. Good to know. Well, thank you again so much for joining us. I just want to ask you a couple questions about your experience this weekend at camp. Now, just to start, was this your first time doing the IFTP improv camp or did you come last year?
We came here last year.
You both
right?
came last year?
Yeah.
Veterans.
Amazing.
We are veterans.
amazing.
This is our second rodeo, and
We're weathered.
Yeah. Yeah, I can tell. No.
it was just as fun and as it was just a great experience just as last time. So
Definitely, definitely. Well, what I'd love to hear from you both, and Tara, we'll start with you. I'd love to hear a highlight of something that happened in class, and then a highlight for something that happened outside of class.
The in class, I would say, was just the space that was given to scenes and just allowing to develop them. So in one of the classes, we were escalating. And so whether it was a group of people, actually, that was my favorite, where there was 5 people and, the first person said something at a 1 and you had to get all the way to a 5. And it was just, this space to just be a really big character, and you had guidance with it, and you were just building on the scene, but also, making it big for yourself too.
Definitely.
And then out of camp, I would say the group photo is always kind of fun for me.
Yeah.
It's just like everybody there, there's so much energy, and then after that, everybody just hugs goodbye and talks about how amazing the weekend was.
Yeah. It's a good like capstone moment for the weekend. I feel like definitely. All right, Alex. What about you? Highlight in class, highlight outside of class.
I'd say a highlight in class would be just witnessing how funny and how creative people can be, and it's just mind blowing. How can someone be that funny, that creative? You know what I mean? And there was a scene too where I played a serial killer with Keenan, and it was actually an amazing scene.
I heard about it.
And
Word got around.
yeah, word got around about it. Yeah, it I don't like scary movies. I don't like watching documentaries about any kind of serial killers. I'm not even the biggest fan of Halloween. But for some reason, that character came so natural to me, I'm a bit concerned.
Okay, well, we'll keep an eye on you.
Yeah, but outside of improv, just the talent show, I felt like that was very beautiful to watch. People express themselves and, just showcase their talents and their skills. It was beautiful.
Definitely. Yeah, I think that was something we talked about on the last camp chat with Sylvan and Adam as well. Just that talent show was an opportunity for, I think, people to be vulnerable, not as improvisers, but as just people, just as kind of bearing their soul, just like ripping that open. So I love it.
You're an amazing singer.
Yes.
Michael, you are so freaking talented.
Thank you. Appreciate
amazing.
it. Appreciate it. Thanks, man.
Just from being like, I did the talent show last year and seeing, it's a biannual thing.
Oh, dang it. Okay,
But
next year.
seeing how supportive, but not supportive in an obligatory way, but genuinely appreciating people's talents is just something that you feel in this room more than I've seen in any theater that I've been in. It's everybody is really just rooting for each other and it's, respecting everybody's talent.
Yeah. I think like generally I would say like most talent shows kind of suck in a way because like when you're a kid, it can be rough. But like this, in an environment where everyone is rooting for the other person, it makes just everyone's talent even better, because it's like the environment is safe and we're all rooting for you. We're like, just all jazzed up. So I think it just elevates the level of performance that we get to see. It's not like high school where they're throwing tomatoes and stuff.
Right. And I appreciate the courage that people have to go up there and to, put their hearts and their souls out there.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that I really admire about everyone.
I want to see you both up there next year. Tara, I know it's biannual. Alex, I don't know if you did it last year, but next year's your year.
Next year's my year.
Next year's
I
your year.
will be there.
You got a whole year.
Coming soon. Y'all be ready.
All right, he said that on the record, so we're holding him to that. If you don't, we're going to break one of your kneecaps next year.
I need those.
That would be a talent.
It takes, I don't know how to do that, but I guess hit it hard.
Yeah, right, exactly. Okay, I'm definitely doing it then.
I also just threatened you on the record, so that's not good. All right. So rounding out this weekend of camp, what do you think is, and will be our last question before we improvise a little bit. What's one nugget of wisdom that you now have that you didn't have 2 days ago related to improv?
That's a great question. I would say for me, having grace, sometimes not every improv scene that you do is going to be amazing and fantastic, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to put pressure on yourself. You can just have fun and pick little pieces of information and apply it to the next scene. And just making the fun part of improv the priority, and everything else will fall into place.
100%. Yeah. Like embrace sucking.
Embrace sucking.
Yeah.
That's how you get better.
Yeah.
Not everything's going to be perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have fun with it. Everything will be fine.
Yeah. I agree. Because once you can do that, it becomes so much easier, the whole thing. Yeah. And I know that's something I need to remind myself of sometimes.
No, you don't, Michael. You are damn near perfect. So
No,
all the time.
that's not true.
All the
Fake
time.
news.
You are hilarious.
Well, thank you. You're too kind. Too kind. But thank you for leaving us with that nugget of wisdom. Tara, that's a tough one to follow up. Good luck.
Yeah. I would say that coming here is a reminder that you can 100% be yourself and not filter or try to be something that you think other people want you to be. And that's okay.
Yeah.
And just like embrace your imperfections.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that.
love
The
it.
freedom from expectations, right? We have coming away up here on the mountain. And it's like, how can we take that and apply that to our life once we're back down, back in LA? I think for both those things, right? Embracing failure as well as not worrying about the expectations and judgments of others. That's,
Right.
I mean, those are, I think, two of the hardest things to do in life, but striving towards it helps you with everything, not just improv, but we only care about improv here. So
Yeah. I love it. That's definitely true.
yeah.
I tell people I'm gone this weekend. I'm at improv camp,
Yeah.
and they're all like, "Oh God," and I'm like, "Good, don't come."
Yeah, yeah. If your reaction is that, we like attitude adjustment before you come up the mountain, right?
Yeah.
Attitude adjustment, because I think, you got to see this as an opportunity, not like, oh, I don't want to hang around improvisers. Like, come on now,
Yeah.
this is an amazing place, and I think one of the few opportunities as an adult too to get away from a lot of that. Man, thank you both so much. I'm gonna keep those nuggets, put them in my pocket here.
Put 'em in your pocket,
and save
lock
them
it
with
up.
me. I'll read them when I get down the mountain.
Alrighty.
So the last thing we're gonna do is I need your help because we got to do some improvising here. Are we ready to improvise?
Let's do some improvising.
Let's do some improv.
You're ready. Let's go.
All right. So the final game of Camp Chat of Improv Camp that we are playing here today is a classic, the dating game.
Oh, hello.
Oh my gosh, I have two wonderful contestants here. I am a sad sap, a hopeless romantic. I'm looking for my future date, possibly life partner. So luckily I brought in these two amazing candidates and they're going to tell me a little bit about themselves. We have contestant number 1 here closest to me and contestant number 2 a little further away. Contestant number 1, please introduce yourself. Who are you?
My name is Donovan Chevelle.
Ooh,
and I really love long walks on the beach, and I like roses that smell like fresh pineapples. And yes,
Wow.
so happy to be here.
Such a philosophical mind you have, Donovan. Wow. Okay. Contestant number 2, please introduce yourself.
My name is Matilda Gertrude,
Like the movie.
and I enjoy all things related to death and dying, particularly the decay of bodies. And I really like the feeling of pain, whether it's emotional, physical, or just anything that causes pain in others.
Wow. Well, Matilda, your courage and your bravery towards the unknown is admirable. So I'm definitely so excited to learn more about you both, and hopefully by the end of this show, we'll be set for life. So Donovan, contestant number 1, let's start with you. It's our first date. Where are you going to take me?
I think that I will take you to Manhattan Beach. I will make sure that I bring artificial candles.
Wow.
I will bring some white wine.
Amazing.
And I'll bring books of poetry. And I will feed you grapes as I read the finest poetry I find. And I'll also bring my JBL speaker. I'll make sure that it's all charged up. And I will play 90s R&B music that will
Responsible
remind me of how much I'm willing to invest in your heart and in your love.
Wow, amazing. Well, lucky for me, I was born in 98, so I don't remember much of that music, and I can't read, so thank you for reading those poems for me. Wow, Donovan, really swept me off my feet, but I'm curious to hear what Matilda has to say. Matilda, where are you taking me on our first date?
Winter.
A season.
Yep, I'm taking you to winter, particularly in northern altitudes and longitudes where there's dark 20 to 22 hours of the year. And at those times, also candlelight, because, that's romantic, particularly in the seasons of death and winter. And we would probably have an igloo, but outside of the igloo would be
Cozy.
a fire that was surrounded by dead trees and animals.
Wow, wow. So such warmth and chilling conditions. I love that. And isolation. Ooh. Romantic. Oh my goodness. This is a tough decision. Luckily, I've got some more questions for you. Contestant number 1,
Ask me.
Donovo. I'm wondering, it's Valentine's Day. What are you going to give me? What gifts you got for me?
Well, what I'm gonna do, I'm more of a creative type of person.
Oh my gosh, an artiste.
So what I'm gonna do is I am going to go on Google Images, and I'm going to print out in color at my job because we have a color printer at my job.
Wow.
And I'm going to print out pictures of all the dates that we are going to have in the future. Kind of like a vision board.
Oh my gosh.
But for us.
An oracle of the future.
Exactly. And I'm going to make sure that I print that on a nice construction paper, and I'm going to glue on some Hershey Kisses. And I'm going to give that to you as I show up at your doorstep with a bouquet of roses.
Oh my gosh. And Donovan, thank you for using pictures so I don't have to read about our dates because I cannot. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you. Such attention to detail. Wow. All right, Matilda. Valentine's Day. What are you going to get me? I love me some gifts.
I celebrate Valentine's Day on December 31st.
Oh.
And that
Blended
is
holidays.
a season of death before new life.
Ooh.
I also have a printer at my office. It's a black and white printer. It only prints black and
The
white.
duality of man.
And thank you. It is the duality of man because that's all there is. And to really celebrate that void. Do you hear it? That's our date.
Wow. Beauty in simplicity. I love it. Sometimes it's, like you said, black and white. It's the simple things that really bring most joy. Wow. Wow. The choice between many material goods and almost nothing is quite enticing. Wow. All right. Well, we've got one final question here to determine our futures together because obviously I'm an excellent candidate for love. All right. So we're going to start with Matilda on this question. Mix things up here because sometimes in love, you never know what's going to happen next.
You never know.
Never.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
So exciting.
So Matilda, my final romance dating question for you is, babe, I'm hungry. What are you making me for dinner? I'm hungry.
I'm making it now. It would have to be a farm fresh
Oh my gosh.
barbecued pig.
Oink, oink.
The pig would have his head still there, but not with eyeballs.
Oh,
And the pig would be sliced into bacon. And the bacon would be laid upon dried cabbage and rabbit's fur.
wow. So cozy.
The beverage would be a fine blood red wine. And I would feed it to you using a fork of turkey feet
Wow.
and a goblet of pewter.
Wow. Wow. I love a meal that encapsulates almost the entire animal kingdom. Incredible. Incredible. And I appreciate you feeding me because I actually never learned how to use utensils.
Or read.
It's been a struggle. Or read. Well, I couldn't read about using utensils, and that's held me back. But I'm here for love. Thank you, Matilda. Donovo, tough one to follow up. Babe, I'm hungry. What are you going to make me?
Baby, don't need to worry. I got you.
Pet names.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I take off my shirt very slowly.
Wow, shirtless in the kitchen.
Then I'm going to take off my pajama bottoms. Then I'm going to take off my socks. I'm going to put on a fresh pink pair of underwear, boxer briefs.
Wow.
I'm going to put on my kitchen apron, my chef hat, and I'm going to get some dough from Trader Joe's. Then I'm gonna go back to the apartment. And then I'm gonna make you a pizza, baby.
Pizza.
I'm gonna beat that dough so hard.
Give me a slice.
And my pink boxer briefs with my chef hat. And I'm gonna make you the freshest pizza you ever had. I'm gonna put pepperonis in the shape of a heart. Cause you have my heart, baby boy. Wow. And then I'm gonna rub your belly and get your digestive system ready. And I'm gonna feed you that pizza.
Wow.
One slice at a time until you full. And then I'm gonna get my juicer out.
Oh.
And I'm gonna put my kale in that juicer
Oh my goodness.
and nourish your fine ass.
Nourish me after a pizza.
Balance, baby. See, I want you happy. I want you satisfied. But I also want to take care of your health.
Wow. Wow. Well, my goodness, this might be the hardest decision of my life.
I feel like I need to add something.
Matilda, please.
I don't feel like I was able to give you the full picture.
Oh,
I just want you to know that while Donovo wants you to have a full life, I want to be with you forever.
wow.
And that means death and beyond.
Wow.
That's all.
Well, thank you for that last minute addition, Matilda.
I would like to add something as
Oh,
well.
I see. I see.
I would like to add something as well.
This is unorthodox, but I'll let it be. Please.
See, my goal is to keep you living for a very, very long time.
Oh.
I want to make sure that you in this for longevity.
Oh.
I want you to live to be 142 years old. And I'm going to make sure I feed you all your vitamins and calcium and fish oil, omega vitamins from GNC.
I do have an iron deficiency.
Everyone dies, Donovo.
And then after that, I'm going to cremate your sexy ass.
Oh.
And I'm
Keep me
going
in
to
a
keep your
jar.
ashes. And when I die, I'm going to mix our ashes together.
Wow.
And then we're going to be dumped on Manhattan Beach where we had our first date.
Oh my goodness. A complete circle.
Full circle, baby.
All right.
Full circle, except that you would be preserved perfectly with formaldehyde and sitting at your table forever.
Oh my gosh.
Your life would live on
Wow.
in death. You don't want to be on Manhattan Beach as dust. The dogs pee all over it.
Dogs pee.
I would treat you in the afterlife with respect and real, true joy.
Like an Egyptian pharaoh.
But will you make him a pizza, though?
Wow. All right. Well, contestants Donovo, Matilda, thank you so much for bearing your souls. But, at the end of the day, if I think about it, it's, idealism versus realism is really, it's a battle of philosophies. And I think, Matilda, you're the one for me. I want to focus on the real because, my family health history, I know I'm not going to live to 142. And I want to think about what's after life.
We'll set them all up at the table.
Donovo, I'm so sorry. You just missed the mark for me. But,
What about the pizza?
I'm going to eat that pig.
Don't touch me.
Oink, oink. Blackout. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Lovely. You both so embraced that so much. I wanted to pick both of you, honestly. That was a tough decision. I hated having to make that decision, honestly. I was like, I hate this.
I
wanna
wanted
pick 'em both.
Donovo and Matilda to get together.
Oh.
Right. They're destined for
Oh, in a way that would have been interesting. I think combining your philosophies would have really created something special. Well, I was a little selfish. But Alex, Tara, thank you so much for joining me on the last episode of Camp Chat. Any final words before we head down the mountain back to Los Angeles?
I just think that to be creative, to set apart a weekend to just be creative and not know anything about what that will be is it's such a unique opportunity, and it's really a gift, and I'm grateful. I'm already looking forward to next year, and it's just one of my favorite weekends, and I'm so glad that it's started.
Mm-hmm.
And happy to have been to all of them so far.
Yeah, wow. Back-to-back camp champs right here. Alex, any last words for us?
Yeah, I'm just so happy that we had a weekend of just laughter, connection, nature, like just a unique experience. And I'm just happy that we can gift that to ourselves, and make it a part of our lives.
All
and,
right.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to coming back next year and
There you go. There you go.
going to class tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then we're back at it in class
Back
this
at it
week.
again.
All right. Well, thank you both again so much for joining me for the final camp chat. Let's go ahead and wave goodbye. Woo,
Camp
we're leaving
champ.
camp. Woo, woo, we'll see you back in the studio next time. Thank you. Improv for the Podcast was created by Matt Moore and Michael Lee Evans. Edited and produced by Michael Lee Evans. And finally, presented by Improv for the People. Interested in more IFTP? You can visit us at improvforthepeople.com or on our socials, such as Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. Remember, new episodes are released weekly. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time.